I'm sharing today, I think it would be pretty beneficial for Benny is a portfolio piece that I'm going to be working on. Even though I have an internship and I'm still applying to full-time roles and everything, I still wanted to get a chance to work on projects and sort of like the field, like that sort of direction that I'm going in. So I'll just walk you through the research and the concept for a new case study that I'm going through. So first, I'll just break it down step by step, and feel free to stop me if you have any questions or anything. So some of the things that I really want to work on are how people work, just like solving problems in those different spaces, how people live and how people learn. And for this one, I really wanted to focus on how people are working. And for my users that I really wanted to set up, I looked at fully remote employees and people that are hybrid, really asking what problems they face. And I set up a big survey that I pushed out on LinkedIn, on email, and to everybody that I really knew, and just wanted to ask them questions about what problems they may face when that they may experience when they're working remotely, ways that they address those problems, and just like overall questions about them, age group, living situation, and what their work from home status is. So doing that really was beneficial. I got 70 responses, and it was really cool to see just the different um, situations that people are in. Just like taking a look at all of the data really gave me a lot of information. And I'll just summarize it right here. One of the most significant issues that I saw was social isolation and loneliness. A lot of people, 89% of people of the 70 people that responded said that they experienced that to some extent. But funny enough, it was experienced on a less frequent basis. So whether that be only a few times a week when they were working remotely, or during like a few times a month as they were fully remote. So that was a really interesting issue that I wanted to tackle with this project. So to learn more about it, I reached out to some of the people that responded to these surveys and just got a lot of insights from them. And as afterwards, just defining the problem, it seems that the problem is that remote employees find it hard to connect with people on their teams, their virtual teams, their coworkers. Some of the problems were that it felt less natural. It was harder to learn about the people on their teams that they were working with, and conversations felt kind of forced. Some of the things that they enjoyed about the office was connecting with coworkers, being able to have those conversations, team lunches, and in-person meetings, and everything along those lines. So it was really helpful to reach out to them and hear their experiences and their habits, and how that contributed to this problem. And as I just like nailed down sort of like an idea to address this problem, I said that remote employees needed a way to make their virtual meetings more enjoyable, so that they could connect with their coworkers in a more genuine way. So when it came to brainstorming solutions, this is sort of like the final part. I looked at different examples of applications and software that are out there that are solving the same issue. One is called Donut, which sort of gives you it's integrated within like chat software like Microsoft Teams and Slack. It gives you fun conversation topics and daily prompts that you could respond to within your chat. And also Airbnb, which does a lot of virtual events that teams and people can come together and work together on. And overall, from this, I saw what makes a good solution in this case is that it encourages conversations with people, really helps coworkers learn about each other, and then it's always better if it's in the actual software that people use to work. So I did a whole bunch of sketches and everything, but my overall concept right now that I'm working with is, what if we brought integrated activities into virtual meetings? So for example, conversation topics that help people have more genuine conversations, and team building activities, and bring that into the software that we use every day. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. And the first step that I'm looking at is conversation topics. So if we were in Google Meet, or any of these were in Zoom right now, what if there was some sort of a menu that popped up that allows you to search for conversation topics, allows you to control which ones pop up. And just as I kept on sketching a lot more, you could see how this could turn out to be like some sort of integration or some sort of plugin into whatever browser or whatever software that you're using. So just presenting something that presents conversations to each other, to the two people, or the team, or the coworkers that are there speaking. So this is where I'm at right now. It's still a pretty rough concept, but I would love to hear everybody's thoughts about the direction of this. If it sounds interesting, if you think I need to do more research or any questions that you may have. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for sharing, Tyler. I'll open the floor up if anyone has any questions first.
I don't really have a question. In terms of the direction, I think it's really good. I find from my experience that when you work for a company, a lot of the groundwork that you're actually doing now, like the research side of it, companies don't really buy into it too much. They don't really understand the true benefits of it. So it kind of gets rushed. So I think having like an opportunity to actually do this, actually have conversations with real people actually experiencing it, rather than maybe secondary market research or just looking at external stats, but actually like first-hand information, I think is always like one of the best ways to actually start anything really.
Thank you.
I was just going to say, in terms of the prompts, I think that's a good idea because, yeah, sometimes on Slack, so I use Slack and I'll be honest, I'm enjoying going into work more. Sometimes when you're on Slack, you kind of just feel a bit isolated. So I like the idea of having like those kind of prompts, and then you can kind of start that conversation and maybe find like-minded people as well. So I think that's a great idea as well.
Thank you. And as I progress, maybe for the next show until I can show mock-ups or any other wireframes as this idea goes forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback.
No problem. What are you going to be using for the mock-ups? Are you going to be using Figma?
Yeah, Figma is definitely a good option. I think I've been using FigJam as well. If you guys don't know, it's a free software that allows you to do mock-ups, and then there's whiteboarding on FigJam. So you can have as many files as you want for free. So it's been really cool to put all this together. And with the sketches, I've just been sketching on my iPad.
Cool. Did you get any negative feedback or any feedback from others that they said that could be improved?
So far, you all are the first people that I'm showing this to. But I definitely want to put together like something quick, just to showcase a concept or do a concept test or something. Maybe with the people that I interviewed first. But I do think that there are probably a bunch of things to consider, like how it could be improved, like why people want to use this, or how they'd be able to actually download it and actually put it into the meetings. So there's definitely like it's a big rabbit hole to go down, but definitely excited for that.
Would it be an app or would it be embedded into like say Slack or things like that?
I think the direction that I'm going with it right now is that it's some sort of plugin that you could have for Zoom, for WebEx meetings, or Google Meet, where you could just download it and like have it. I'm not too sure if that's possible right now with these different software, but it could be like a nice what if scenario.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, Tyler. Did anyone else have any feedback?
Hi everyone, I'm Evelyn. Thanks for the presentation. I just had a question in terms of what's your thinking being in terms of how often people use this or what their interaction will be with this integration, especially since people are going back to the office more and are less likely to need to have these prompts to like, you know, hang out with each other because things are not.
Yeah, that is true. I think that this would be for the special niche of people that are going fully remote. I do know that there are a lot of companies that are only going fully remote. With the internship that I have, the company is committed for the near future to only have remote employees. And there are people that I'm working with for the last 6 months, ever since January, that I've been a part of the program, that I have not met in person and probably won't get the chance to meet because they're all the way over on the West Coast or the West Coast of the United States, or maybe even other parts of the different world. So this could be specifically just for icebreakers or new employees that don't get a chance to meet in these sorts of remote environments. It is definitely the problem is definitely getting solved by itself by people going back into the office. But I definitely should do more research on that just to see who this would be for. Thank you for the question.
No problem.
So yeah, so Tyler, I really enjoyed your presentation. I thought it was really good. Like you told, it was really nice to see how the style in which you present, that you told the story right from the start, like from how you started with your research and then seeing your wireframes. So that's something that I'm trying to work on, and like telling the story. And I feel like I got a really good insight in how to do it from watching you speak. And also really like the wireframes, and I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what like the final like prototype will look like. So yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.